everybody, welcome to Fit for Life. My name is Anna. Let's get up and get moving. We're gonna get right into it today. Start with our march to warm up. All you need today is you need a TheraBand, and we're gonna be doing some exercises on the wall today to start. So like I said, my name is Anna. I'm a kinesiologist, exercise specialist for the Aspen Primary Care Network here in Westlock. We're doing our best to keep moving at home while we can't be meeting in person for class. So get those knees high. Let's get going. All right, remember that by participating in this video, you're doing so at your own risk. You've deemed yourself safe enough to participate in exercise, and the Aspen Primary Care Network is not liable for any damages or injuries that may be incurred during this video. So nice and warm. We've got proper footwear on. We've got a nice safe space to exercise in our home. Now we're gonna get moving. Get those arms going. Nice high knees. The warm up should be fairly gentle, but enough to get our heart rate up a little bit, get our breath going a little bit, get our joints all lubricated, everything gets warmed up. Okay? And we're gonna do our polka. I'm gonna try my best to keep things to more of that 30 to 40 minutes today. We'll see how it goes. As previous videos show, I'm not very good at keeping track on my time. Nice polka here. We want to be able to still speak while we're dancing. If you're so winded that you can't tell your partner how you're feeling, make sure you take a break, slow it on down, okay? Try not to crush into anything while you're doing your polka here. All right, a little bit more, light on the feet. Good job. Okay, let's do our hip swings. I like to hold on to something for balance here. Nice and loose through the hip. Just getting those joints lubricated and feeling how that stabilizing hip has to work while we're doing our swing. All right, let's do the other side. I'll try not to knock all of my stuff over today. Got my trusty board set up again. Hopefully I don't go knocking anything down, and be careful that you're not crashing into walls while you're doing this with your own self at home. All right. And some shoulder circles. Starting small, we're going to get bigger, getting bigger, nice big circles, nice and warm, and getting smaller again, a little more controlled, and turn the other direction. Circles the other way, starting small, getting bigger, and getting smaller again. Okay, give your shoulders a little wiggle there. Let's take a minute to squeeze them back and down, and a couple more times, back, down. We're still paying attention to our posture always. Okay, So I'm going to try my best to keep track of my board here. We're going to start off by doing our exercises on the wall. So if you have a patch of wall close by, that's great. Otherwise, you can watch what we're doing and then go find your patch of wall, pause the video, whatever you need to do. So I'm going to try and make sure you guys can see me well here. I'm going to start off with some really basic wall push-ups. Our hands are going to be straight out from our chest. Our feet are a little bit further away from the wall. If you want to make it easier, stand a little bit closer. Want to make it harder? Stand a little further away, okay? Your hands should be just a little wider than chest width. And we're coming in and coming on back out. Notice how when I come into the wall, my hands are still nicely at that chest shoulder height. One of the most common things I see here is people's hands start off too high, and then when they're coming in, their hands are up by their head. That's too high. It's going to put too much pressure on my shoulder. So keep your hands nicely out from your chest so that when you're coming into the wall, we're nicely at chest height, okay? Keeping your body really nice and straight here. Notice how I'm a nice plank going in and out from the wall. I'm not just doing this where I'm bobbing at the hip, all right? Try not to let that butt stick out. And we're doing a nice full body push-up on the wall. Okay? Like I said, if that's too hard, take a couple, move forward just a tiny bit, and it's amazing how much of a difference just those few inches can make. If that's too easy, move it a little lower to a countertop. Try that out and see how that feels, okay? Next one we're going to do is called the wall Superman. So we're working our back this time. I'm still going to start off in this wall push-up position, but now I'm going to take one arm. I'm going to kind of reach it up and back. I'm taking the opposite leg and I'm squeezing it back. I'm going to hold for 2 to 3 counts and release. And then do the other side. 1, 2, release. Now the important thing here is when I'm bringing this arm back, I'm really squeezing this shoulder blade back and down. And that opposite leg, I'm really going to focus on getting a big glute squeeze there, okay? So bringing that arm back, squeeze it back, opposite leg, squeeze it back, count 2, 3, and the other side. Squeeze across the back and other side. And squeeze, count 2, 3, keep going. Making sure we've got good activation through the shoulder blade, good activation through the glute. And one of the common ways that I see people cheat here is they twist, okay? They go like this. And you can see how that's a lot of twisting happening in through my back and my hips. So making sure we're still very square to the wall. And squeeze, 2, 3, and good job. Okay, what have we got next here? We've got some side hip stabilizers. This one is a little new. You guys know how much I love to work on those side hip muscles that help stabilize the pelvis. So we're going to come really nice and close to our wall here. Hope you guys can see me good enough. We're going to come close to our wall here so my shoulder is kind of just brushing up against the wall. I'm going to come down into a bit of that half squat. So you can see here, I'm nice and soft through the knees. I'm going to be nicely bent here, not too low. So I'm coming down. I'm going to sidle up really nice and close to the wall here. I'm going to pick up my leg that is closest to the wall and press my knee against the wall. Squeeze, 2, 3, and relax. Okay? Come down and out. Push, 2, 3, relax. Do a little stand up in between if you need to have a break. If you feel like you can, stay down in this squat position, and we're going to press that knee, 2, 3, relax. Try and stay low this time. This is just pressure coming from my knee into the wall. My hip is not against the wall here. And relax. Come on up and take a break. You should really feel that starting to work on this outside stabilizing leg. Let's do a few more. Come down and squeeze. 2, 3, relax. Try and stay down. Let's do it again. And squeeze. 2, 3, and relax. Let's try the other side. I'm going to do it on this wall here so I can still see you guys. So we're coming down into kind of a bit of a quarter squat here. I'm nicely against the wall. I'm just going to push this leg, squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Make sure you're still breathing. And come on down and squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Take a little break. Do it again. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Try and stay down this time. Do it a couple more times. Squeeze, 2, 3, relax. Try and stay down. Feel that burn. And one last time here. Squeezing into the wall. 2, 3, relax. Big stabilizers having to work in through the glutes there. Give yourself a little bit of a shake out. See how you're feeling in through your hips. Okay? Next we've got wall sits. We just keep on doing the hard work here. So come to your patch of wall. You're going to lean nicely against the wall. And I want you to make sure your feet are far enough away from the wall here. So if you're too close, when you come down, your knees will go over the level of your toes. You're going to hurt your knees. So making sure that you're out far enough. My feet are a little wider than hip width apart. And we're going to just sink down into that wall sit. See how far you can go. Can you come to that 90? If that's too far, and we're going to hold this for a few seconds here. If that's too far, don't come down so far, because remember, we have to get back up. Okay? Take a break. We're going to try and go a little bit longer next time. So find out where that happy spot is that you can control that sit. So coming on down. And if it's only quarter of the way, that's fine. Check your knees. Make sure they're nicely stacked over your ankles. Your feet need to be a little further out. That's okay. Try and keep holding it. We're feeling that burn. Of course, come up at any time if you need to. But we want to be able to feel that burn and release. Okay? Work into that fatigue a little bit, into that warmth. We're going to do it one more time. If this is pretty easy for you, just hold it a little bit longer, or there's variations we can do to make it harder. If it's too tough, don't go down quite as far, or come out before. Come out a little earlier. Sinking on down. There's a lot of good work that we can do here. My hips are still nicely against the wall. I'm not pushing out. They're nicely against the wall. And my upper back is against the wall too. See if you can keep holding. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Try not to think about how much work's going on here. You can think about the nice sunshine that's out here today. Hopefully by the time I post this, it'll still be sunny. And pushing on up. Good job. A lot of big work there, okay? Next, we have heel-toe raises. So I like to hold onto the wall while we're here and just do a few heel-toe raises. I like holding onto the wall so I don't tip over backwards, because remember how important it is to stay straight through the torso and not push our butt back when we do that toe raise, okay? I want to stay nice and straight up on the tippy toes and bringing the heels, or rocking on the heels and bringing those toes up. You're not necessarily going to get as far up, but we get a better activation in through the shin. Okay, try and make sure those hips stay straight and don't fall. Okay, we're going to come on over to our chair. Got the sunshine coming through here today. We're coming over to our chair. Before we're going to sit down, we're going to do a few more chair squats just to keep moving, get these big muscles working here. So just like before, my feet are a little wider than hip width apart, and we're going to just touch the seat and come on back up, making sure we stand up the whole way, and we're not just doing this, okay? We're doing a nice full stand. Now, if you are not at the point where this is comfortable for your legs and your knees, just do a quarter squat. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with doing the sit to stand. Now be careful when you're doing the sit to stand. Common way that I see people cheat on that is they do the rock, okay? I don't want to see this going on. Keep your feet planted on the floor still. Making sure that we're aiming for that chair. If you can just do the touch, do the touch. All right? Making sure that we're doing it nicely together and we're not kind of raising with our bum first. All right? We're just doing a nice touch and stand. All right, couple more. Feel that work. And let's sit down and relax. Okay? I'm doing a little better for time here so far. We'll see how it goes. We're going to start off doing a one-arm shoulder press. So for this, we're just going to hold the band nicely to our abdomen here. We're going to start off at the shoulder. We're going to press up. So this band I'm working with here is a green TheraBand. That's kind of our happy medium. A little heavier than this would be the blue TheraBand. Heavier than that is the black. And lighter than this would be the red. So, like I've said before, careful with overhead work and the band, because if you've had a rotator cuff injury or tear, this could really hurt. And so you'll want to modify, maybe just do a push out or a push to the side, something different. Switch sides, holding that band to my abdomen, starting at the shoulder and pushing up. All right, kind of this hurrah movement, making sure that your shoulder blade is staying down where it's supposed to go and you're not crunching up to the ear like that with your shoulder. It's staying nice and good posture. You're just coming up and coming on back down. Okay? Nice and slow. Always control the release with that band. Wonderful. All right, let's do some rows. Onto our basic upper body strength here, just like before. So putting the band around your feet, and I put my legs fairly straight out in front of me. We're going to do a nice row back. Squeezing those shoulder blades together on the way back. I'm doing a nice straight line, ending off at the chest. I'm going to turn to the side here so you guys can see a bit better. Keep going. All right. Nice straight legs. Good posture is important. And coming on back. Good, easy row. Squeeze those shoulder blades. It's okay if the elbows come to the side a little bit. I don't want this to be happening, okay? We're not doing the bicep curls yet. That'll come later. Nice squeeze and back. Squeeze. Keep those shoulders down. Make sure you're not crunching those shoulders up to your ears. We're staying very good with our posture. Okay? On to the press. We're going to, this time, do the opposite. We're going to start at the chest now and push straight out. Good posture is important. Making sure we're not losing track of those shoulders and letting them roll forward and up. Shoulders are staying nicely back and down. Posture, posture, posture. So important. Also very important to slow that release with the band, especially with these exercise bands that kind of tempt us into springing back to original position. We want to be very slow and controlled. Work those postural stabilizer muscles. Get them firing. Okay. And good. Couple more. And last one. All right. On to our bicep curls. This time, I'm going to stand both feet on the band with my feet down. And we're keeping our elbows tucked to our sides. And we're doing a nice curl, controlling that release. Remembering that we have a tiny bit of rotation that happens here. My palms are first facing my side when they're down here at the bottom. And I rotate them ever so slightly to be facing almost up towards the front of my shoulder when I come up here. Getting pretty nitpicky with that now when we're thinking about that. Make sure your elbows are tucked. I'm going to turn so you can see me here. Keep going. Making sure those elbows are tucked. And we're working through our full range of motion. Wonderful. Feel that warmth in through the bicep. Slow down the release. And last one. Good job. Tricep extensions. We just worked the biceps on the front. Now we're going to work triceps on the back of the arm. Call those my chicken wings. All right. We're going to take that band in one hand, hold it across to your opposite shoulder, take one of the tails, and keeping that elbow tucked again, we're coming straight down. I'm going to turn to the side so you guys can see what's going on here. Have the band anchored to my shoulder, and I'm bringing that hand straight down. Again, good, full range of motion here, and posture is important. Slow that release. If you feel like you could be doing these exercises all day long, maybe it's time to move up to a stronger band. Kind of nice to have a couple different weights of bands at home, but you can always make the most of what we have. If this is really easy, take both tails in your hand and just double it up a bit. Okay, let's do the other side. Hold the band in your other hand now. Anchor it to your other shoulder. Take that tail nice and high and straight down. Nice tricep push down. Just like that. Good posture. Slowly release. When we have to work on controlling that contraction while it lengthens, that's called our eccentric contraction. Lengthening, but it's still controlled. And we get so many strength benefits during that eccentric contraction. Okay. Might notice one side is a little stronger or weaker than the other one. I definitely notice here that my left side is a little more shaky than the right. I can start to feel that back there. Try and push out a few more. And great job. Okay, we can put our band to the side. Excuse me. We're going to do our core exercise today. We're going to come on back to our flutter kicks. So remembering that nice core activation is so important. That deep transverse abdominis activation is so important. And if you're not entirely sure what that is, look a few videos back. It's the first one that we briefly reviewed that. If you have back problems, do speak with somebody before getting too much into core exercises because you don't want to hurt yourself. That's really discouraging. And transverse abdominis activation is so important. We're going to nicely work on contracting in through our core. We're going to semi-recline here. We're going to pick up our feet and do our flutter kicks. All right. Keep on kicking here. Make sure you're breathing still. A lot of us tend to want to hold our breath when we're doing a core exercise. And keep going. Feel that activate here. If you feel any type of bulging or anything in through your abdomen, please stop and talk to your doctor about that. Keep going and relax. Take a breath, all right? Ways that you can make this easier. Sit a little bit further back in your chair. Actually lean against that chair if you need to. And you can just do the flutter kicks like that, okay? I'm going to turn to this side here so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Easier version is I'm leaning against the chair and I'm doing that kick, still activating in through the core there, all right? Harder version, sitting a little further forward in my seat. I am semi-reclined, so I'm not touching the back of the chair there. Semi-reclined and doing that flutter kick, okay? You can try going a little further down, but don't touch the chair. And keep going. Feeling that fatigue. Woo. Smile with all four cheeks. Get that glute involved. Good job. Big hard work in through there. So we've covered the whole body here. We did legs. We did some chest. We did some arms. We did some core. We're going to do some balance now. So let's get on up out of our chair. Make sure you have that chair close by should you need it, because just like our rules in class, when we meet together, my rules at home are the same. Nobody falls, all right? Safety first. So check on in with your balance in our tandem stand first. So that means standing heel to toe on a nice line there, just like, whoop, I'm going to tip over for you here, you guys. Nice heel to toe on a nice line there. Try and see if you can be nice and straight. All right. And I'm going to challenge you guys today to get really soft in through the knees and see how far you can come down while you're in that stand. Please have your chair nearby or a kitchen counter or something, okay? So try and see how far down you can sink. How low can you sink your bum? And then slowly coming back up. I don't want you to be a jack in the box here. Slowly coming back up. All right? Let's switch the other side. Can you do this without hands? Or do you need to keep a hand on the chair? That's fine. Find your balance first before you start sinking. All right? Find your balance. Nice even hips. Play around with where your weight is between your front and your back foot. And then slowly start to sink down. Slowly. How far down can you come? Hold it for a second. And then slowly coming back up. Good job. All right. We're going to try doing this on one foot now. If you're not comfortable on one foot, stick to the tandem. That's just fine. You'll have to work where you are most comfortable, where you're at. You want to feel a little bit of a wobble going on in that foot though, okay? So find your one leg stance first. Get that foot grounded. Can you be with no hands, or do you need to have a finger or two on that chair or on that? I like doing these in the kitchen because the counter is a nice height to save yourself. All right, so soft in through that leg. My other leg is nice and free. It's not pressing into my stabilizing leg. I'm going to try putting that other foot out to the front. See how far you can come down. Not quite as far, and coming on back up. All right, try doing the other foot. Remembering we're slow coming back up. Plant the foot, nice and soft. Other leg is nice and loose. And you're gonna put that foot out to the front. And we're gonna slowly sink our bum down as far as we can. And slowly coming back up. You see, I started to squeeze into my other leg there to stabilize myself. I was cheating a bit. That's okay. All right. You guys can practice the balance stuff still on your own as well. Balance is so important to do. Before we sit down, actually, we're going to be doing a calf stretch today. We can use our chair or our wall for that. I want you to take one foot, step it nicely behind you. Keep that heel planted on the floor and just sink into that front leg. And we want to feel a nice big pull in through the calf back here. Try as best as you can to keep that back heel planted down. All right? You can use the wall as well. Plant the other foot back and sinking in to that front leg a bit. Really thinking about creating length as you push that heel down, okay? And the other foot, plant the heel, sinking down, bigger step, bigger stretch, okay? Breathing in to that stretch, nice and relaxed. Do the other side, and sinking back. We've done a lot of work with our calves, lots of heel toe raises lately, which is great. Make sure we stretch those guys out. Okay, let's come to our chair, and you can have a seat. We're going to stretch out our neck. Hand goes behind the back. Other hand gently brings the head to the side. Ears kind of going down towards the shoulder. Again, most of us have pretty heavy heads. We don't even really need to bring that over pressure, but it can be nice. Other side. Nice and relaxed. Just going to where we feel that gentle pull and just holding there and relaxing into that. When we stretch on our own, I know here in class sometimes we go a little faster, but generally at home you want to be holding stretches for 20 to 30 seconds and repeating about 2 to 3 times on each side. I am really bad for when I exercise on my own. I skip my stretches, which is terrible, and that's why I feel so much better when I do these nice, well-rounded classes with you guys. Okay, let's do a nice twist. Looking over your shoulder, twisting from your seat all the way to your crown. Other side. Getting that chest involved a little bit here as you reach for the back of your chair. Really trying to get this arm back. Okay. And good job. Twisting all the way. Working on that shoulder check position. Really important movement for us to be able to do. Great job. stretch out our glutes, hips. So ankle goes onto the knee, sitting nice and tall. I'm never pushing this knee down, and for some of you, your knee may be way up here, and that's okay. Just try and get as tall and through your posture as you can. Eventually, that knee is going to work its way down. All right, tall posture, hinging slightly at the hip to come forward. Let's do the other side. Ankle goes onto knee. I'm definitely tighter on this side than on the other side. Sitting very nice and tall and hinging forward at the hip. Remembering that if you've had any joint replacements in your hip or your knee or anything like that, this may not be the most appropriate stretch for you. And you should speak with somebody about what can be a better option for you. Let's do the other side. And of course, if you feel any kind of stabbing pain, sitting up nice and tall, hinging forward. If you feel any type of stabbing joint pain in through the hip or the knee here, again, talk with somebody about what's a better option for a stretch for these muscles for you. There are so many different ways to stretch out the same thing. We all kind of just find our favorites, and this is one of my favorite ways to stretch out this group of muscles. Sitting nice and tall, hinging forward. I'm going to turn here so you guys can see how important our posture is here. Okay, nice hinge. You're not curling through your spine. We're staying up nice and tall. Okay, and the hinge there. All right. Last one, we're going to stretch out those hamstrings. Take your heel, place it in front of you, engage the toe towards you, sitting nice and tall and leaning forward. Turn to the side so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Sitting nicely forward in my seat, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting nice and tall, hinge forward. Doesn't take much to get a great stretch down the back of the leg there. Okay, do the other side, plant the heel, engage the toe, sitting nice and tall, hinging forward. Give it a try where you actually collapse and curl your back. It's not difficult to reach your toe when you're curling in through your spine. Staying engaged is going to make it a lot harder. I can feel that pull a lot better. It's a much more effective stretch when our posture is where it's supposed to be. Heel, toe, engage, hinge forward at the hip. All right, nicely in there. Some people say imagine your kneecap drawing up towards you to keep this muscle engaged. And the other side. Plant the heel, engage that toe, bring it up towards you, sitting very nice and tall in your seat, and hinging forward, nice and open in through the chest. Okay, making sure that you breathe always when you stretch. I'm never going to be teaching you anything where we're doing breath holding. Breath holding can be dangerous for blood pressure. And a lot of people that I work with have issues with blood pressure. So for a safe rule of thumb, we're always going to be breathing when we're in this class. All right. Okay, good. So I made it in proper time today. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Like I said, I'm going to be doing my best to keep these videos going every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 o'clock. So I hope that you have a great day. Hope you have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next time. Take care.